Hey everybody, it's Polaris. I had this message kind of come to me in pieces the past couple days, and I haven't like really journaled on it because, like I said, it only just comes in like pieces, and it comes and goes as quick as it comes, or it goes as quick as it comes. I think is what I meant to say. I was like, that didn't sound right. Um, but I wanted to I don't know, I just felt really called to just take deep breaths and just see what comes out today. Um, but I have been bowling a lot, so I'm gonna give some context. I've been bowling a lot, and it's been so nice. I grew up playing a lot of sports, so it's nice to have like a hobby that I can go out with friends and kind of just have a skill that I can kind of get better at, like a new skill. Um, and something that my friend told me was when you're bowling, like let's say you change the weight of the ball, you then have to relearn everything over again. So you have to remind yourself, okay, keep your arm straight, cross your leg, and kind of like relearn everything. Or if you're like, hey, I want to move back a little bit further so I can get a little bit more speed on the ball, then you once again you have to relearn anything. You have to relearn how to step, how to throw now at that length. Like it's you when you change one habit, you kind of have to rebuild the rest of the habits. And when I first heard that, I didn't. I mean, obviously, yes, I associated it with bowling, but the first thought that popped in my head was that's just like life. When you change one habit, right? Like for me, I it's been a habit that I've been trying to work on. And I would say now I am consistent with it. I have been doing so. I dream journal. I have been trying to dream journal for, well, a lot of my life, I would say, but it wasn't something that I fully implemented. And I would start it for a little bit and then kind of stop and then go back into old habits. And then I would be like, hey, no, I need to start doing this again. And I'll start doing it and then kind of lose consistency, or I wouldn't do it every day. It just was very inconsistent, right? It wasn't a habit yet. And I don't remember where I heard this, but it takes like what 3 to 6 months or something like that to like form a habit, and that's if you're doing it like every day. Um, and I have been doing it like more and more consistently for, I don't know, a long time now. I don't know. Like I said, it still comes and goes, but now for the past 2 weeks, I have been dream journaling every single day. Even if I try and put it off, like I just am like, nope, don't, just do it real quick. Even if you don't remember, or even if the dream's uncomfortable, just write it because I don't know. I get like a lot of messages in my dreams, and that's usually where you get a lot of stuff from your subconscious mind. Um, but I've been doing that consistently. But in turn of me doing that, that had to change other habits. Like, for example, having to wake up earlier. Because sometimes I would journal for 5 minutes. Other times I'd be sitting there for like 20 minutes and I wouldn't even realize 20 minutes had passed because I would just be writing and writing and writing, and I would be able to recall the dream a little bit more. So I had to change what time I woke up. And doing that, I was able to add in other habits that I kind of stopped doing, like doing my makeup, doing more fun things with my hair. Like, look at my hair today. I haven't done something like this in a very long time. And I've missed doing it. So it's like I'm able to start adding more things, but it's like I got to rebuild that habit, right? So like when I added in dream journaling, I kind of lost doing my makeup and fixing my hair. Um, and now I'm like able to re-add those things. Or because I decided to wake up early, well, now that changed my night routine. Now I needed to go to bed earlier and like refigure out my night routine. So it was a great experience, and I feel really proud of myself for where I'm at right now. And that's another thing with I I don't know if I've made a video about this yet or talked about this, but I'm currently doing this kind of challenge, I guess, for myself, where I'm kind of like going through my chakras, and I focus on one chakra each week. And right now I'm just finishing the end of my second chakra, which is this sacral. I don't know how to pronounce it. Um, I've heard it different ways. That's why I'm like, I don't know if there's a correct way, um, but I don't believe in coincidences. I really don't. And so I truly feel so like at home with myself and feel so centered. And I've always like had this belief and kind of knowing that the universe works with me. But now kind of like it feels like I really integrated like myself with those beliefs, right? Like I truly like feel it like deep in my core, like I guess you could say in my root, right? And I'm so glad I'm doing this journey, and it's literally just the start. Like I still have 5 more weeks of this, over a month, and I'm just so excited. And so tonight will be the start of solar plexus, I believe. I think that's right. That sounds right to me. And I don't know. I truly just feel myself like glowing within. Like it's kind of like, I would say like my third eye and crown chakra have always, not want to say always, but they have been fairly open. But they are already like expanding even more by just like going through everything. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but maybe someone needs to hear it out there. I just kind of, like I said in the beginning, I just kind of want to see where this message goes, but the main point is I want to just remind everyone to give yourself grace. I definitely, like, I went through a period, I've talked about this before, all of May was pretty difficult. I'm just gonna just be blunt with that. It was just pretty difficult for me, and I had a lot of self-doubt, but now I'm like returning back to the basics. And I say that in the sense of when I started changing things, like of course everything started shaking. Like when you tell the universe, hey, I want this new thing, well, you gotta make room for that new thing to come in. And so that means losing old habits. That means losing people in your life. That means kind of losing a part of yourself that is no longer going to fit that new life that you're trying to walk towards. And so I was going through a lot of like self-doubt of like, am I doing the right thing? But I kept pushing through because I knew everything would work out, and I just kept telling myself it will work out. And I kept pushing myself to keep doing the things that felt hard, and they weren't really hard, but it was just like, for example, like when I felt tired and didn't want to go to work, I would just take a deep breath in the morning. I would just say, I am grateful for this job, and I am grateful that I am able to go to this job, and I'm able to interact with people. And I would do that. I would do that through the whole morning until I got to work, and then I would just, even when I'm at work, I would just be like, remember that smiling face, remember that smiling face. Like I would really just like hold on to hope, because I know that that feeling that I have is genuine, and it does come up. It's just in that moment, I was getting pulled into these darker energies because it's, how do I explain it? I guess I can explain it kind of like autopilot. Like let's just say you're brushing your teeth, right? And you brush your teeth with your right hand, but you say, hey, let me try brushing with my left hand, right? It's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel awkward. Like even just me holding my hand like this right now feels awkward and uncomfortable. And the next day you go to brush your teeth, maybe you start brushing your teeth like, shoot, I'm using my right hand. And then you remember and you go to your left hand again. And that's kind of how certain thoughts and changes can kind of act, is you have to actively, constantly think about it before then that becomes the new autopilot, right? I feel like that's the best way I can describe this. I don't know. It's been a journey for sure. And that's why I just say give yourself that grace for when you use your right hand, like whatever that means for you, whether it's, dang it, I forgot to dream journal today, or I didn't exercise today, or instead of focusing on what you didn't do, just be like, hey, I remembered, but I will try again, and just keep trying again. Even like, for example, like let's say I'm like, oh, I didn't stretch today. You know what? Let me just stretch for 5 minutes. So that way I am showing to myself that I can trust myself and I'll keep my promises. And I'll stretch for 5 minutes. And then I'll be like, okay, did I stretch for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? No. But I started with that 5 minutes. Or like, oh, dang it, I didn't meditate today. Instead of saying that, I'm like, you know what? Let me just sit here for 1 minute and just breathe. Maybe focus on my breathing just for that 1 minute. And then I'll continue on with my day. And as soon as I said that, I actively reminded myself to talk slower, because that's another thing I'm trying to add back in, is slowing down again and talking slower. And does this feel weird? Yes. I don't know if anyone else can sense it, but I really am actively trying to slow down and talking right now. But that's something I don't know. There's a lot. I feel like that's why it's nicer for me to try and focus on one thing. But I'm an overachiever, I guess. I like to do everything at once. Not everything, but I'm just kind of just being silly. But I was able to do that in the past. I was able to slow down talking, and I remember, I don't know, this memory literally just popped up right now. I used to be on social media like what, 5 years ago, maybe a little bit further than that. And when I would talk to people, I would actively slow down, and it got to the point that people that watched me would say, you've slowed down talking, like I can tell, and you've been working on it. And I'm what's the phrase, or not the phrase, what words come into my head? I'm able to be easily understood because I'm slowing down, and that meant so much to me. And hearing that again right now in my head, and like seeing that memory pop up is just so meaningful to me. And I'm grateful for those little gifts that come in, those memories that come in, or things I get to hear from other people, or experiences I get to have. And I don't know, I just felt really called to kind of just sit here and talk for a little bit. And I don't know. I think that's kind of it. I think that's kind of all I want to say. But just remember to love yourself. Give yourself that patience and be kind, okay? If you forget something, don't beat yourself up over it. It's not going to fix it. Just be like, yeah, I forgot. It's okay though. Let me do it for a minute. Just give yourself a minute, even if you forgot, right? And then try again. Never give up. Never, never, ever, ever give up on yourself. I promise you are the best thing to work on. So never give up on yourself, okay? But I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.